I dedicated my last lesson to providing you with an overview of what you can expect from Ultimate Vocabulary. We talked about word lists, several vocabulary learning techniques including elaboration, repetition, and playing with words, testing, tracking, and more. I realize much of the material was covered only briefly, but please don't worry if you didn't grasp something I said. I'm going to spend the next several lessons delving deeper into each of the different ways Ultimate Vocabulary helps improve your vocabulary. These next few lessons should provide you with all of the information you need to reap the most benefit from the 10 to 15 minutes you'll spend each day with this powerful vocabulary building tool. Are you ready to start improving your vocabulary? Great! I'm ready to show you how. Today's lesson focuses on word lists, but before I begin, let me ask you a question. How many words do you think are in the English language? Hundreds? Thousands? Tens of thousands? If you're unsure, you're not alone. Lots of people are surprised to realize that the English language consists of hundreds of thousands of words and that new words are constantly being added. You already are familiar with some percentage of these words because you've been learning new words ever since you started to talk. But being able to recognize a word doesn't mean that you can confidently use that word when you communicate. You need to master your words, and that is what Ultimate Vocabulary helps you do. With tens of thousands of vocabulary words to master, you may be wondering where to focus your efforts. If so, then wonder no more. When you use Ultimate Vocabulary to improve your vocabulary, you don't have to choose words to study. Instead, you can let Ultimate Vocabulary choose for you. How? One of the features that sets Ultimate Vocabulary apart from other vocabulary learning tools is its ability to allow you to choose an appropriate word list to work on. Ultimate Vocabulary contains hundreds of predefined word lists. Each of these word lists is categorized for easier reference and identification. You'll find 10 different word lists within each category, and most lists contain about 100 words. To give you an example of what I mean, one of the word list categories is called Success for Life. Once you click on that word list category, you'll find 10 different word lists. Each of these lists contains 100 words listed in alphabetical order. Some of the vocabulary words in this particular word list include absolute, cognitive, evolution, mandatory, repository, terminology, and warrant. Another word list category is called SAT exam, grade 11 college level words. Again, this category consists of 10 separate word lists that contain words you would expect to see on an SAT test. Words like consciousness, maxim, postscript, speculation, virtue, and many more. Other word list categories you'll find in Ultimate Vocabulary include number 1, GRE exam, master's level words. Number 2, GRE exam, PhD level words. Number 3, TOEFL exam, advanced ESL words. Number 4, most common English words. Number 5, English conversation words. Number 6, grades 1 through 10, and number 7, GMAT exam. You'll also see a category called My Word Lists, a feature that enables you to create your own word lists. I'll tell you more about this powerful feature in my next lesson. For now, just understand that with Ultimate Vocabulary, you have the option of choosing words from hundreds of predefined word lists. Or you can build your own for more targeted study. Before going any farther, I want to point something out. I said earlier that each word list category contains 10 separate word lists. This is true for every category except the category labeled grades 1 through 10. When you choose the grades 1 through 10 category, you will find 10 subcategories, one for each grade level, grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, etc. But that's not all you'll find. Choose any of these individual grade levels and you'll find 10 more word lists, each packed with vocabulary words appropriate for the specific grade that you've chosen. So, for example, under the grade 3 subcategory, you'll find grade 3, level 1, grade 3, level 2, all the way through grade 3, level 10. As would happen if learning vocabulary in school, the vocabulary words in each of these grade-specific level categories get progressively more difficult as you move from one level to the next. As an interesting side note, it took a lot of research to create each of these lists. We started by sourcing a number of different lists, and then we combined them. For example, when choosing words for the SAT exam category, we gathered about 20 different SAT lists that had been compiled by experts. We then used computer software to determine which words were recommended by most experts, and only included the 1,000 most recommended words. We followed a similar process for all the word list categories found in the Ultimate Vocabulary. Now that you know how Ultimate Vocabulary's word lists were created and are organized, it's time for you to choose a list to learn. This part is easy. All you have to do is select the word list that best matches your vocabulary learning goals. If you're a high school student preparing to take a college entrance exam, you would probably want to start by learning and mastering the vocabulary found in the SAT exam word lists. If you're helping your child learn vocabulary, you'd probably start by choosing the word lists that correspond to your child's current grade level. If you just wanted to brush up on your vocabulary in general, you might choose the most common English words category, or perhaps the English conversation words category. When choosing, just remember that every one of you has your own personal reasons for wanting to improve your vocabulary. Whether it's career advancement, standardized test preparation, supplementing grade-appropriate instruction, or something else, Ultimate Vocabulary gives you complete control over choosing the word lists that you want to focus on. Choosing a list to learn is an important first step, since everything Ultimate Vocabulary does, as far as teaching, is based on the current word list. By working with a predefined word list, you'll have plenty of words to look up and learn right at your fingertips. You won't have to waste time searching through a 5-inch thick dictionary to find the meaning of the words that you want to study. In fact, you won't even have to leave your computer. We know you're busy and you want to learn the most vocabulary in the least amount of time. That's why we've kept the Ultimate Vocabulary interface as simple to use as possible. And what could be simpler than being able to access all of the information you need to know about the words you're studying with just a few clicks of your keyboard? Once you choose a word from a word list, which, by the way, is accessible via the Ultimate Words button at the top of the screen, you are ready to begin the process of mastering that word. To help you with this effort, Ultimate Vocabulary incorporates Word Discover, a new technology that gives you more information on your words in one place than was previously available anywhere. You can now see 50 usage examples for each word by clicking the 50 Power Examples tab. You can explore words visually by clicking the Word Explorer tab. You can see encyclopedia entries for words. You can learn all about a word's history, origin, and derivations by clicking the Etymology tab. You can check what Wikipedia has to say about the word you're studying by clicking the Wikipedia tab. And you can click the Wiktionary tab to hear how to properly pronounce the word, to view antonyms and synonyms, and more. Ultimate Vocabulary even lets you add your own notes and images to the words you're studying to help you enhance your learning experience. Well, that does it for this lesson. I hope you now have a better understanding of how to choose a list from the hundreds of predefined lists that Ultimate Vocabulary offers. Choosing one of these lists really is the fastest and easiest way to get started. But since you all have your own personal reasons for wanting to improve your vocabulary, let me remind you that you're not restricted to using the predefined word lists. Another powerful benefit of Ultimate Vocabulary is the ability to build your own word lists. I'll talk more about this feature in the next lesson.